we're prepared.
Last week I had a thing. I had a thing about languages, right?
Yeah, yo.
I had a thing about languages last week.
What about languages?
We're on.
No, man. I remember saying that. What's this? I think there's value in having, you know, people know their mother tongue.
Yeah.
And I think I related this to my daughter speaking Zulu, and I was like, oh, I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about like, there's if you look at basically all the countries that are kind of like running the world right now, they have one language.
Yeah.
In that country. So there's not much division. I mean, there might be division with other things, but not with language, which means that I feel like people have a common understanding of a lot of things. Because culturally, they speak the same language, which means they have a similar way of thinking. So I feel like with us, it's like, I mean, even right now we're speaking English. We all speak like 3 different languages here.
I think that's stupid. Like
What do you
us
mean?
speaking 3 different languages. Like I'm willing to
To do what?
I'm willing to give up Tonga. I'm willing to give up Pedi. I'm willing to give up Zulu.
For what?
For what's the most spoken Swahili?
But that's the thing, though, is that
Like I'm ready. Like for me, it's like the idea that, you know, all these cultures have like all these particular thing and practices that are very specific to each other. It's very great, but it's like when you kind of zoom out, it almost doesn't matter.
but there's
2 seconds. Like when you zoom out, it's almost like it doesn't matter. So we are all almost derived from a similar tribe or one tribe. So some of the values are incorporated in just one tribe. So let's all come together, all these different cultures, and then let's all just speak the most spoken African language, and it's Swahili. Let's abandon all of this other stuff.
Interesting.
I feel like you're just saying something to sound cool and to just be like snappy. It's like, I'm being realistic. You're not gonna go learn Swahili.
Okay, but
Are you gonna learn Swahili?
whether I'm gonna do it or not, the idea of it is great. So whether it sounds cool or not, I don't think having 9 different languages makes much sense.
We didn't
When
have...
we can all just communicate as one. Like the idea of having 9 languages and then having one, like as an idea, whether it sounds cool or not, it's better. We are all connected. We all kind of have a united place. We all have united principles that we follow closely, and we are very strict about the things that we educate our young ones. But the idea of just like, oh, you're gonna be Zulu, you're gonna be Pedi, and we're gonna just move separately for eternity doesn't make sense.
We're basically saying the same thing then.
Yeah. But I'm choosing Swahili. What are you choosing?
I'm not choosing anything. It was a topic of discussion.
Yeah.
I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on this stuff.
Apparently, we didn't have any differences in our languages back then. It was the reason why we have so many languages is apparently due to the translators who came along. Well, don't quote me on this. I don't even remember where I heard it. But the translator that came along to Africa, translators, translated the different tribes in different ways. And that's why you have so many different languages.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense because so much of our languages are similar. There's similar words in
They are
each of our languages. So it makes sense that we were one, and we actually are one, I think.
I was actually talking to I was talking to someone who's from Mozambique, I think, and they speak Portuguese. Mm-hmm. But the Portuguese is not, it's like Mozambican Portuguese. Still Portuguese, but not Portugal Portuguese or like, I don't know, Brazilian, you know? So and also there's like languages that are, also this person, identifies as Shangan, right? And I was like, oh, isn't that derogatory for Tsonga? And she was like, no, I am Shangan. Because it's like a combination of, I don't know, it's like Tsonga and something else, that side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's like still, there's basically like languages that seep into one another. So there's like a little merging of certain languages and they become something else.
Yeah.
Like Pedi, I'm Pedi, and then there's Venda. But then there's people who live literally between Polokwane and Venda and they have their own thing. That's Bolobe. It literally sounds like Pedi and Venda.
That's
It's
amazing.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's dope.
yeah, and I think, I don't know, like according to me, we only have 4 languages in South Africa. Like there's 4. Like there's
That's
Like,
a widely
like separating, like separating Sutu, Pedi.
it's all one thing.
Tswana.
It's one thing. All of it is Sotho.
What is the
Pedi,
fourth one?
Tswana, like Pedi, Tswana, Sotho. It's all Sotho. Like
Yeah,
don't even. Let's
that's
not
what
do
I'm
that.
saying. So when you're looking at it at that point, you can kind of combine those 3.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can combine Ndebele, Xhosa, and Zulu.
Yeah, that's one
3.
thing. That's all Zulu.
But once you zoom in, you can somehow combine Pedi and the Zulu one together.
No, let's not do that though.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's not do that.
because what you're doing is you're zooming out and you're combining these 3. But you can now actually combine
All of them.
all of them.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
No, but it's
Let's have one language in South Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
bro.
here's the thing. When I'm speaking English, there's a certain way I'm thinking that I cannot do this in Pedi. You know? Same as there's some things that I would like to do in, you know, English, but it just does not translate from Pedi. It's like,
yeah.
and so when you speak a certain language, you also alter your way of thinking.
No, for sure.
So-
that one is a big one.
If we could just have one language, I feel like we'd have one understanding, and more things would just happen more seamlessly. I feel, but there's just like
It's too many.
it's too many, bro. Like I get it, right? It's like it's almost like you know, it's like there's pride in like being a rainbow nation, but also it's like
I've realized like
we shouldn't. I don't like the rainbow nation thing. We should just have one color.
I
dog.
like that take, bro. That's
just
a
one,
wild take.
Just one.
No, fuck the rainbow nation. No, like
I don't
it's
know.
hilarious. I like how glorified it is, but it's so. It kind of feels stupid. It's like every time I've grown up, like well, not every time I've grown up. That's a wild sentence. Like
Every time
when I
I've
was
grown
growing up, I've never the you know when you have Heritage Day, everybody takes pride. It's like this one day where you take pride in your difference. It's not. It doesn't sound.
That's how they got us, bro. That's literally how they got us. No, for real. Like that's how, like divide and conquer. We're celebrating the divide.
Yeah, I don't like that. And every time it's like I've always had a different relationship with different tribes. There was always competition. It was never an acknowledgement. Like you hear, Tongas can't get along with Zulus. No, Tongas can't get along with Venda people. And I'm just like,
Is that a thing?
that's a thing. See, you don't know it, but
crazy.
we know it because we're close to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we're the closest people to each
Interesting.
other, but we're the most divided. Xhosa and Zulu, they're closest, but the most divided.
Insane.
What is that about? It's
So-
like
Sanity.
relinquish all of this.
So you guys are basically saying it to bring us all together, not to
Yeah, man.
downgrade the,
Yeah.
the diverse cultures.
Which is ironic.
Where okay, what's the benefit of having the rainbow? Maybe let's pose it this way. Let's find the benefit. Maybe
The
then
cons
we'll
of
go
it.
like, oh wow, I see this rainbow thing is beautiful. Are we saying the
We just
label,
want Ubuntu.
the labeling of everything is not necessary?
That's I think where I'm getting at. But also it's like because there's labeling of things, people feel more seen, and that also I guess there's value in that too. It's like when we see like I don't know black animations, we're like, oh, I feel seen now, yippee yay.
Yeah.
And then like within that, there's like, or not only am I black, but I'm also like
I'm also Tsonga.
I'm also Tonga. And now I see something that's Tonga. And I'm like, yay,
Like,
again.
I now feel seen
Like,
even
yeah, I
more.
feel seen now.
And
then
then
now
you can
it's
keep
like,
going into
and
the
then we
rabbit
just
hole.
keep going in. And it's like, it never ends.
That's interesting.
That's the
That's
thing
very
about
interesting.
languages I wanted to talk about.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a weird little.
Definitely more unity is needed. And I think it would be for the better. Yeah. That's what Ubuntu is all about. So
Yeah, man.
I think that's an interesting take on it. Never thought of it like that.
we should come together, guys.
Come together.
Right.
In the comment section, just let us know which language we would all pick.
If I had to
Just
pick
come.
though, if I had to pick like the whole of South Africa, I don't care, guys.
We're
I
about
don't
to get
care.
divided.
I don't care. The most spoken language in the country, guys. Like
What's the
we
one?
should stop being
we should-
ridiculous.
We should just pick Zulu, right?
It's just it's like the one that's most spoken.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
wins,
But then
it wins.
You know who's gonna
We are all
be a
Zulu.
problem to
Who?
this? The closest are not gonna. They're gonna be like, nah.
No. I don't. That's the thing. That's why I said I don't care. Guys, we get like you.
No, I get
Your
it, I
course,
get
you
it.
understand. You understand Zulu people. Don't act like I'm Perry. It took me a while to get here, but I understand Zulu now.
Yeah.
I'm Zulu, guys. Okay.
Welcome.
I mean, look. I don't know.
No, in this ideal world.
Yeah, it's in an ideal world, I'm
Yeah,
Zulu. Like,
yeah.
why am I fighting this?
In this
Yeah.
ideal world, you know what? Let's all be Shaga's kids, man.
Not only do we speak it here, it's like if you go outside of South Africa, you go somewhere else. So when I was in France, the only thing that was recognized about South Africa, apart from what's the thing where we hate other black people?
Xenophobia. Yeah.
Apart from xenophobia,
Wow.
It was
that
like-
was recognized.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela, Trevor Noah, and Zulu people. Legitimately. Obviously also like
No, for sure.
beautiful women for sure. But it's like the culture that was most recognized is Zulu.
No, for sure. That
So it's like
that
it just wins, bro. If you say Betty, they're like, what are you talking about? Then you have to explain. It's like we Zulu guys.
So here we are willing to relinquish our cultures. In the comment section, maybe there's somebody who can identify the value of this specific tribes and all of them. Let us know. Please educate us.
If you're colored, you're Zulu.
We are but young.
If you're white, you're Zulu. And or if you're black, you're Zulu. Like let's not do this. I don't know. It's fine.
Okay, but this is from the South African context, and then if we're speaking from an African context, you are Swahili.
You are Swahili, guys.
Yeah, you are
Like
Swahili.
let's not do this.
Let's not do this. Let's not play this game. We're done. We're done with these cultures. We're relinquishing all of this.
Done. All right, cool. Done.
That's good, man. I like that. That's
Sweet.
great.
That's hilarious.
Where do you guys want to hit it?
In the piri. You said you saw Saul.
Enda biribiri. Enda babarimini. There you go. See, I should
Oh,
voice it.
that's what.
You know, it was like for a brief moment. It was in Rosebank. He was walking past. He's actually bigger in person, right?
Really?
Guy has a big presence.
That's
he
good.
walks with like
Nice.
He's a big boy.
big stride. Nice. And I saw him from a distance, smiled at him from a distance. He smiled back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a lovely dude. I was like,
Sick.
you know, I love lovely dudes. I'm like, it's cool. What people portray online or whoever, I don't care who's this guy when I see him. And
Face to face.
very brief moment. I went like this from a distance, and he didn't do this. He just went like he reached out his hand, and did like a fist pump.
Oh, man.
And we chilled for a little bit. It's like, hey man, how you doing? Where you heading? Friend of the show, love it. And he was like, yeah, I think he was doing shopping or something, big ass headphones. And I was like, all right, cool, man, enjoy. That's it. Very brief.
That's nice.
But
That's nice.
you kind of get a feel of a person, you know?
I love those guys.
Nah, it's great.
Man.
It's a
Ah,
good,
that's
it's a
really
good podcast. That. And but that's the thing about it, you know what I mean? Like,
They have really good chemistry. Like I just like how they gel together. That's nice. Mac
Yeah.
and Saul, they
Yeah.
they're dope.
They good.
they remind me of you guys actually.
Really?
Yeah, you guys have a good little mix match thing. You do. And I'm the spanner in the works for sure.
No,
I
you-
mean,
You're the glue.
yikes.
You're the glue.
That's a wild statement.
You are.
But I hear you go.
You don't want to be a glue.
You don't want to be the glue? What do you think you are?
I'm the guy you guys met in high school. Yeah.
Maniac. We've been friends for years.
Yo,
Friends for years is like, I'm just a guy.
Not just
I
a
come
dude.
here every now and again and I hang out.
Yeah.
Psychopath.
We've been inseparable since. So the Grammys happened.
That's cool.
That was
That was nice. I mean,
I really like the drip.
I watched them on Twitter, really.
Yeah.
So Beyonce has the most Grammys ever. That's dope.
Funny thing about Beyonce.
Oh yeah.
What about it?
So I saw
Saying
a video.
funny thing about Beyonce's wild. It's almost like you know her personally.
Oh snap! Shout out to the Beehive. I don't want to ruffle any feathers or any. What do they have? They have
What are
wings.
those things?
Yeah, they have wings
Wings.
and hair. I think.
But
Gross.
there's a
Anyway, so I saw a video where Jay-Z went to go. They were sitting on a table, Beyonce and Jay-Z, obviously, and I don't know what the other couple was. Jay-Z went to go fetch a drink. He came back. I think Beyonce was like, it seemed like, yo, where's my drink? And I was like, oh, I didn't. You can have mine. And then she was like, nah, bro, I don't want yours. And he was like, all right, cool. And then he went on with his day, and I was like, oh.
How
But
crazy is that?
I related to that as well, you know, because I'm like, I mean, I'm giving you my drink, the one I wanted. I'm sorry I didn't get you yours, but, you know, here's mine. And you say no, I'm like, all right, that's the end of that. I guess that's it, right?
We keep it moving.
We
bro.
keep it moving, exactly.
I know.
That was so cool to see.
I know you just won all of the Grammys.
Yeah.
But you know, it's always cool to see like these relationships where they're like right on the pedestal, they're right up there, and being reduced to just being normal, because that's normal.
I was about to say, it's like that seemed like a normal me and my girlfriend would have the
Believable.
same thing. I'm like, oh, you guys are human beings.
And
At the end
apparently
of
she
the
was
day.
stuck in traffic like a human being.
Really?
Yeah, Beyonce was stuck in
Can't
traffic.
believe, like I can't imagine, like Beyonce being stuck
She
in
was
traffic.
stuck in traffic. That's why she was late for the Grammys. So it happens.
Don't you have a helicopter everywhere at that level? Like,
I don't know, man.
I don't know. That's what I would have.
This is a wild
One
thing.
would
Didn't
have.
like Elon Musk build a tunnel from your house?
Exactly.
Type
At
thing.
that money level.
At that level, it's just like traffic shouldn't be a thing for Beyonce, man.
Yeah, but that's what happened. The other thing at the Grammys was what
What are the
Kendrick was,
highlights?
for me was what Kendrick was wearing. Oh my god.
That was dope.
He's doing this thing with his drip where he's, I don't even know how to explain it, because the one time he was wearing a cowboy belt with like cowboy boots, and then he wore like a trucker hat, and it was like hip hop up here, old western
I
country boy
love
down there,
that,
and I was
bro.
like, what a combination. Can you imagine? It's the same thing, I guess, Ushambe does, where they wear the suits up here,
It's the
and then they wear the
dopest thing,
traditional
bro.
Zulu down here, and I'm like,
See.
the combination. I want to get to that point where I'm like combining different cultures
That's nice.
on my drip, you know. But I could never wear.
What is that
mesh.
called? I mean, it's like
There's a name for it.
yeah, it's like I don't know if there's a name for it, but yeah, it's so cool when you see all of these things kind of juxtaposed together.
Yeah.
and it looks cool, man. I remember seeing it. I forget now, but Virgil did it as well. Like when you kind of start introducing, like sort of like streetwear into high fashion in a
Yeah.
sense. It's almost like a smaller degree of it happening, and now you can see that from that birthed this new thing where you can really mix match things, and it kind of looks really sick.
There's a thing that's happening with like street fashion where they do a lot of that. It was like a lot of people get like one high value item. I mean, I think we do that.
Sure,
like we
yeah.
get like one, it's either the sneakers or something, then the rest we go thrift or do something like
Yeah.
that. And that's like a cool juxtaposition. But I mean, there's people who are doing it at like an insane degree. And I don't know how, maybe there's a lot of people who just like, you know, you buy the full setup, you know, Nike one way, top to bottom. But I think,
Yo,
That's a little
anyone?
bit-
Are people still doing that?
I don't know.
Nike top to bottom.
Some people.
That's wild. Stop doing that if you're doing that. To each his own. But please stop doing that.
yeah.
I mean, there's also The sagging of the pants. I was surprised the other day to see
People
someone
are
sagging their
putting
pants.
them here still. And I'm
Really?
like, I saw somebody who I was like, you know, like, oh no, that's like one of my favorite rappers. And I'm like, okay, it makes sense for him. But I was like, oh, we still sagging. That's crazy. I sag my pants. I won't lie.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, dog.
That's
I was in the crumping. I was doing everything hip hop.
No, but used to.
Used to,
You
yeah.
do it now.
No, I couldn't.
You wouldn't sag those pants. That would be
can't.
ridiculous.
No. I couldn't sag my pants.
Nah,
No.
but to each his own. I
Yeah.
love it. Like for
Yeah.
me, it's like when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's cool, because it's just being able to recognize. I mean, I can't. It's tough because now I just shed on the wearing Nike from top to bottom. But it's like there's moments where things are working. It's like when Kendrick Lamar wears a snapback and cowboy boots. That's kind of cool.
That's sick,
To
man.
someone else, it's weird. You're wearing a crop top. That's cool. Like to someone else, it's just like you can't see it now, but yeah.
He's gonna post about it.
But to someone else, it's kind of sick.
Silhouette is very important. Silhouette.
That's true.
I think that's a big factor because that's
also-
what Kendrick is doing. That's what we're trying to do.
People legitimately don't like. I So I mean, when you go home and you're with your siblings, and let's say you're all going out, you kind of see like the different style sensibilities that people have. I look at my brother and I'm like, what the fuck are you wearing? I mean, sometimes
Which one? Hummus?
the older one,
Gotcha.
the older one, he's 20. He's younger than me, 23 or something, 22.
Sure.
I look at him and I'm like, what are you wearing? But I realize that like that's his little, like his group dresses like that,
Sure.
and it's fine, I guess, you know.
What-
Like he wear like construction boots, and I'm like, what is that?
Okay.
He's like, nah, I'm just gonna go
That's
see my boys. I'm like,
dope.
alright, cool, man, that's fine. I'm like, alright, cool,
That's
dog.
dope.
But it's also linked into like your life, what you wear. So
True.
he's very like
Rugged,
functional. No, I need need to work in these.
for sure. Yeah,
I'm not trying to, stunt on the homies, that type of thing. I'm like, yo, these need to serve a purpose in the long run, and
That's true. It does speak to his life. He's always doing something practically, like with his hands or whatever. He's always,
yeah.
you know.
When we see celebrities rocking the stuff, it's because they're celebrities. They need to look good everywhere. When we see us, we're in the art world. We're trying to look different all the time. So we need to, there's a certain it's
Facts.
solely tied to
True.
who you are as a person. Trevor Noah was there, which is crazy. This man started in SA.
The fact that bro he
Hosting
hosted
the
the
Grammys.
Grammys and
Dude.
it was dope.
Man, the sky's the limit.
Yo.
The sky's.
And he's doing a killer ass job.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking beautiful to see, man. It's so dope. He bumped into Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, I
and
saw that. Yo, that was so cool.
That's a beautiful moment, bro. Some people were hating though. Like,
Why?
How many times is Trevor Noah gonna do this to Busta Rhymes? I was
Does he do it all the time?
Man, I would do it over and over.
I
with
would.
a friend.
What does he do?
So I think in the last time I think he had him on the show, I think he said the same verse again. I think it's either the same verse or a different verse. If it's a different verse, that's cool. But he's kind of recited the same song again. So people were just like, how many times is he gonna do this to Busta Rhymes? Like, yo, bro,
That's
let
hate.
the man enjoy being a fan.
man is
of
with
someone
Busta Rhymes.
Great.
If that's
Come
what he
on.
likes, you know.
Bro, can you imagine us in that room? Like if we met like one of our free like Childish Gambino or something. I actually think I wouldn't know how to act, to be honest.
I do wonder who I'd freak out for. Because for you guys, it's like, I mean, I genuinely do wonder. And I'm not even being a hater about it. I'm just like, who stuns me?
Nah, dog.
Like, I definitely appreciate the work that they've done. Like, for instance,
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to act like I'm just going to be like, oh, look, that's Beyonce. I mean, I'll definitely acknowledge. I'll be like, wow, Beyonce's here. But I don't know if I can ever just be like a fangirl type.
Terrence and I know that I'm gonna get stunned
Like,
because we met somebody. Like for me, it all depends on if like I'm a huge fan.
yeah.
We met like Red Button in the field. Like he's also from where we're from in this was a while ago when we were young.
Yeah.
He's also where we were from in Protea Glen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, we met him. I was visibly like shook. I was like, yo, it's him. This guy spits bars, dog. And then I was like, yo, Terrence, can you take photo. I'm nervous. Like, yo, what's up? And he's like, yo, sure, boys.
And
He
you
was
listen
so
to
cool.
him religiously.
Yeah,
a
he
cool
was
guy.
so cool. And
Yeah.
I just know for a fact. So somebody like who I'm just a fan of, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna just lose it. Like even if, let's say somebody like Beyonce, like being in those people's vicinities is gonna make me. Like,
I don't
go to
wanna
the
meet
Grammys.
them.
I can't do that.
Me, I don't want to
Actually,
meet them.
I think I'm like it's more like I think for me it's more like that. I probably don't want to meet
Why?
anyone who I really, because my man, they are the most high. in
Yeah,
my mind.
yeah.
Because if I meet them and they do something stupid, I'm like, you've ruined it.
Why?
You've ruined the image. You know, like I really like Trevor.
Yeah.
You guys know this.
Yeah.
Oh, you-
I followed that nigga from wherever the fuck he started.
Oh, so if you met him,
If I met him and he did something, the thing is, if I met him, right? I like Trevor. I don't want to meet him. I like this image I have of him,
Yeah, it's great.
and he probably is that
That's crazy.
or even more. I might meet him.
Probably
and-
more. Yeah, it's that and more.
Yeah. But
Sure.
the thing is also like he's been, like everyone who's well known has been around too many people who know them, and in as much as I feel like he's not an asshole, he you know
You can't help it.
I you know what must he do? He must now concentrate on me. What the fuck? Why? He's gonna move on. He's gonna be like, yo man, thanks, I appreciate it.
That's why I don't want
Great.
to meet.
And then he'll just move on,
anybody.
and then he will never remember that.
Yeah, because the people I want to meet is Jay-Z and Kanye West, but I don't want to meet them.
why don't you want to meet him, bro?
I want to work with them.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the only way. If
That's
I'm
the
not,
lev.
if I'm not working with you, be a celebrity.
That's the
cool.
only way where you
Interesting. That's
where
cool.
you're not.
It's I feel to even anyone who I'm looking up to, I hate being sunned. I'll be like,
Yeah,
Fair.
it's that.
I don't like that.
Fair.
I don't like
that.
that. That's not my I don't like that. It's either we're working, I don't meet you. Even if I heard this guy is in a club somewhere, he's inside there.
Not going.
And I see there's a crowd.
Not going.
I'm excited that he's in there, but I'm not gonna be in the crowd just going like, nah.
You know
let's
what
not
it,
do
you know
that.
what it reminds me of? It's like, you know, when they take all these African documentaries and maybe they're riding on a car and then they take like a video of the kids, the locals, and they're all running, all
can't
that
do
stuff.
that.
I even as a kid,
My
I
body
remember,
won't
I remember
allow me.
seeing something similar to that happen when I was a
couldn't.
kid. And I remember these kids running towards this car, and I was like, I'm not running
I
towards
can't
that car.
do that. Same.
I can't run towards the car.
I get that. I think the angle I'm coming from is Trevor Noah was also at a certain level, but he was still a fan. So are you guys saying you're invited to the Grammys? So that means you also did your thing, and you still wouldn't, acknowledge the people you're meeting them at the same level. You're not working with them necessarily, but you're meeting them at the same level. Are you saying you still will be like, oh, I'm getting sunned if I go to Jay-Z and shake his hand?
Yeah, there's a level of pride that will kind of stop you from other opportunities.
That's insane. That's what I'm saying.
crazy. I know what you're saying.
You're in
but
the
if I'm
room.
already in the Grammys, no, I can say what's up to you.
Yeah,
yo.
act like you belong, man. Like
No, for
you're
sure.
already there. So
No,
like,
yeah. I
No,
hear what you mean.
It's
I
a
thought
different
we-
place.
yeah.
It's a different place. Like if you're in the club, you're just a guy.
yeah.
If
We
you're
don't
at the
club,
Grammys,
though.
if you what?
we don't club though.
It's an
so-
example.
Okay,
It's an example. If you're in the streets and you're harassing this man and you like banging on the window, it's like,
Never.
bro, stop. Imagine if they caught you. Like, there's always paparazzi pictures. They're like, oh my gosh, people are excited to see
Hey,
him.
look him
And then there's that picture and there's Terrence going like on the car window. It's like, yo, that's Terrence.
No,
But I mean, I guess-
giving the phone like,
or like getting dragged away by security. It's like,
yo.
also, I mean, I guess there's a certain. Can I tell you? It's more like it really just doesn't matter what happens. It's more just like what you do at that moment. I think you can still come out of that moment like and still be cool. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, like it would be a full circle moment if that does happen. You're like, banging on his window, and then like one day you work with him, you're like, oh man, like by the way, I'm this guy.
Fucking hell.
It's like, yo, there's this guy. He's from banging on my window to.
It's a tricky balance because
Oh.
I think people sometimes you have to be cringy. You have to be embarrassed. You have to, I've learned this from my mom. My mom gets in every room. she wants to.
Yeah, your mom is in there.
Any
Your mom is
room, doesn't
inside,
matter.
dog.
You are there, you're low, gets in any room, the same person.
Mm.
And she'll get what she wants from that room. You are walking with them side by side, you're like, oh, this is embarrassing. Oh my God, no, don't do this. Mama, don't do that. Nah, that lady gets into any room, gets what she wants, comes out with it, and then she goes like, there. So that's why I'm like, sometimes you have to be cringy. Sometimes if there's a purpose in you banging on Jay-Z's door like that, and people are taking pictures of you and you look crazy, but your purpose is like, I need to give them this.
My mixtape.
I need to show him my hard work. I need to, if that's your purpose, be cringy, do it, run. I had a story with Don Toliver also did that. He used to wait outside Joe Budden's outside, and he gave him the CD, and I think that's one of the catalysts of him becoming the guy,
Yeah.
I think everything that I just mentioned is probably just around self-image. Like even you saying you don't want to get sunned, it's like your ego.
Yeah.
It's
Ego
like just,
death,
if you get rid of
bro.
that, it's like you can do whatever the heck you want to do. Like
For sure.
you're not. And also the thing that almost stops you every time is you, because you always think people are watching. What are they gonna think?
Yeah.
You always
It's
think,
the
bro.
ego. Like
thinking is
the
gonna
person you
kill
think you are must die.
Yeah.
But
Always.
I like planning. I know what you're saying, but I like planning. If I know, okay, in a few months I will have the potential of meeting Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I need to know, bro. What am I offering? What am I doing? I know it's extra, but it's like if I can have a thing, I'm like, okay, cool. I've prepared all of this. Now it's a thing I can just give Jay-Z and be like, cool. Make of this what you will. If you want to do something, if you want to, but just walking up to him and go like, hi, I'm a big fan.
Sometimes I think about the complete opposite. So like it's like the part or the version of you that did not plan for that thing, and it just happened. And within that moment that happens, it's like you're still able to offer something that's valuable.
Fair.
And that'll be completely different from anything he's ever gotten, because
It's almost organic.
it's so organic. It's unlike,
maybe
I
coming
worked
from a
really
real
hard
place.
on this mixtape, and please look at this. I worked for 6 months straight. I wasn't sleeping. I was homeless for like 2 months. It's like, my man.
Now I get you.
But then, just a quick question.
Yeah.
Is there anybody dead or alive that you guys would, go crazy for? Like, in that sense? Like, chasing a car?
Can I tell you something? Oof, this is wild.
Nobody.
No, there is. Of course there is.
I'm trying to think of mine, but I can't think.
Here's
Jesus
the-
Christ is not part of it.
Oh my God.
I wanna no
Oh my God.
no. I wanna talk to this guy, like legit. I just wanna be like, yo, what happened?
Hey.
It would be really interesting to talk to him, just to find out, like,
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
like Hitler. Yo, Hitler would be a buzz.
Interesting.
I would love to talk to that guy, or not even just talk, just to kind of like, I mean, he did some crazy shit for sure, right? And I'm not even like saying that's fine. I'm just saying that, like, I want to talk to the most renowned, hated person, second to Genghis Khan. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Hitler, huh? What do you
There's
ask
a
Hitler?
special, like,
Interesting.
in fact, I want. Does he still have his artwork stuff? Because he wanted to go to art school.
Yeah, you'd ask him about
That's
that.
where it all started. The person who ruined people's lives was an artist. This is what happens when you. I'm kidding. No, I wouldn't say that.
When you're so sensitive to the world and you have so many ideas.
That's so interesting. Okay, you? Nobody? Dead or alive?
Nah, I don't have anybody I would want to meet. I mean, maybe, let me think about it. You go.
I'm also trying to think. I don't think I have somebody. Like, all the people are like, I'd go crazy for Kendrick
Yeah.
or Absol or anybody in the TD or any of.
I would have loved to have a picture with Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah, that would have been sick.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, okay.
Would have been nice.
Yeah, he's one of the goats.
Breaking.
For sure.
Breaking.
the South African government hiding aliens? According to supposed leaked documents, the South African Air Force shot down an alien aircraft in 1989 in the Kalahari Desert. The craft, as well as 2 aliens that survived the crash, were taken to a military base nearby, known as Camp 13. According to the documents, a doctor even tried to perform experiments on the aliens, but in response, they attacked him. Also, the South African government supposedly gained advanced technology from this encounter. Nothing is mentioned of what eventually happened to the craft or aliens. The South African...
Wait. First of all, this doesn't bode well. The fact that we let 2 tigers out, like, you know, recently. Our animals just get out. So us capturing aliens, wild. Secondly, this technology, where?
How dope though.
Load shedding.
Also, no. This is not current day South Africa. This is not current day. This is
what did they say?
Apartheid South Africa. This is like military elite South Africa.
We're probably not going to even see the tech because it's probably military. But strange thing, like the military training in South Africa. Why did I do that? It's military training in South Africa. It's like military training. It's like world renowned. I don't know if it still is.
No, definitely not still is. Bruh,
it's not right.
Come on, we've seen it.
It's not.
No, bruh, like no, we see our cops. We see like you can. Bro, there's videos of people like slapping around cops.
But then where's the tech, bro? Where's the alien tech?
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
do you believe this?
Oh, for sure, yeah, no. I believe in aliens. Aliens
not
are there, bro.
aliens. The fact that we found aliens.
Yeah, I do.
You believe we found aliens, bro?
Not us. Not
There's
not
no
ANC.
way.
Guys.
Not ANC.
We would know, Terrence. It wouldn't be on Twitter.
Nah.
Not ANC, bro. There was no Twitter back then.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking it's like
No. We can't capture anything here. No, not today.
You guys underestimate us. Like the fact,
What?
I got
2 tigers.
I got excited. I was like, oh, finally, it's not happening in America only. I'm like, ooh. I mean, this is like
it is a cool story.
it's dope.
No, actually, no. There's a recent one. No one ever talks about this a lot, but there's there's a school in Zimbabwe. This happened like a few years ago. Very recent. There was a ship that landed in a school playground. Right? All the kids that saw it,
That's a story right there.
all the kids that saw it could not talk about it. Not that they didn't want to. They were incapable of talking about the thing.
Oh, incapable. Like
They just couldn't talk about what they saw. Yeah. They could say, oh no, I was there, I saw the thing. They're like, what happened? Nothing.
But that's what I'm saying about aliens, man. Like, first of all, I do believe that they're out there. But if they can travel however many light years to get here, they have the tech to do whatever they want. They could have came, wiped our memories, left, and continuously do that over and over until God knows when, just because they have the tech. If you have the tech to make it over here, it's insane, bro. We haven't even gone back to the moon. The moon.
maybe it's just because it's pointless and there's nothing there.
No, but at least test the engines, take the car out for a test spin. No.
Nothing.
That's crazy, bro.
I think it's dope that it's happening in South Africa, though. Finally,
these stories are sick.
aliens, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, it's almost.
Not finally, bro. It happened a long time ago.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it happened a long time ago. It feels.
I keep saying come
Not
back.
finally.
Oh, Jesus.
I guess finally that it's out and we are fucking. I want to see the weapons, man. I want to see. I don't know. It's like all these things that are happening. It's so hard for me. I believe that aliens are out there. This is big, but the idea that we have captured some or captured things that we can use. It's like what has that materialized to? You know what I mean? Have we now created a new weapon? Have we created a new
Whatever.
thing? I haven't seen any of these cool stories materialize to any sci-fi, some cool shit. Or maybe it's all happening in small increments. You know, when you know we don't get to watch each other grow. We don't see each other grow. So it's happening in small increments. So we don't know. Like at this point, we can shoot high res 4K.
10 years
8K
ago. Go 10 years ago with
a
this phone. People will be stunned.
So maybe it's all happening incrementally, and aliens are assisting all of this, which is
What a great script.
What a fucking great script,
Both
man.
of those. Can you imagine, like, you do like a kids show or a film or whatever of that one where the alien.
The
lands
moment he
and-
said
I thought about a show. I was like, let me write
a ship
I was
in a
like,
field
right, this
and
is-
kids couldn't say anything about it, I was like, bro, that's a short. That's a short animation. That's we have a story.
Yeah.
We have a working character. She's the main character, and she's the only one who can actually say. She, out of everybody can't tell the story, and she's the only one who can.
But then, does she say it immediately, or nobody believes them?
Or does she? Why hasn't she? Has she
Yeah,
said
why
anything
hasn't
until this
she
point?
spoken?
Or maybe she's like,
So she has, but she can't. She doesn't have witnesses.
Oh, no.
She's been trying.
no. Wait.
Yeah?
What if it's like one of those? You know those kids who just love to lie for no reason.
Oh,
It's like one of those.
The girl who cried wolf.
Yeah,
We
the
can
girl
call
who cried
this
wolf.
The girl
is
who
the only
cried
one
wolf.
who knows the story. It's like, oh, okay, she knows what happened.
I have a better one.
Yeah.
What if they believe that she performed witchcraft on the kids?
Oh, now you're tying it into some. But we can have both. The girl who cried wolf, but she also, her mother is.
Sangoma.
So they're thinking there's
Yeah,
a
I
correlation.
love how you. You. Her mother. Help me.
Because I just got it now.
Yeah.
I just got it now.
Yeah.
No, but that's great.
No, that'd be
Let's
sick,
run
man.
with the story.
Yo,
it's
let's do that.
dope,
Like
man.
the three of us.
Mad.
Let's do that before
That's
somebody
dope.
takes it.
I mean,
This is how they. You guys just witness the
How we come
moment
up with
our stories come up.
oh, yeah, no, for sure. This is
You
how.
know, feel free to run with it if you
Yeah.
want. No, I'm joking. Definitely. Come
Oh,
talk
should we
to us.
draw that?
No, we should. That would be cool though.
It's dope.
That would be nice.
And then
it's
what about
really dope.
what about the other one?
Let's unpack the story.
Which one are we still unpacking? So they don't believe her.
No, I mean, I'm sure the world is building. So the aliens they just landed.
No, so they just hanging. The kids are just hanging out. We shouldn't do this for too long because we're gonna fucking once we
love
get
it.
rolling.
Yeah.
Once we get
Okay,
rolling,
okay.
maybe the kids we were hanging out at school. Like a lot of people were hanging out on the field, but they were different cliques.
Sure.
You know, but they would still hang out. The guys would play soccer. The girls would chill, having a mini picnic, and you know there'd be drama kids practicing. We
There'd
went
be
to
the
an art
weed
school.
kids.
Yeah, there'd be the weed kids.
Yeah,
So
gotta be authentic too.
all that group of kids, the thing lands, does whatever it does, and then
Thing is, this is primary, but that story was primary.
yeah.
But this is high school. What you're saying?
Yeah. So the thing lands, does what it does. Oh yeah. So and then she's trying to tell people, but they don't believe her. Like, oh, it was just a weird phenomenon where everybody fainted. Or you're a witch. Blah blah blah. But the more people that start to believe her, the more the aliens start to track her down, and then try to
Eliminate
figure out.
innocence, yeah.
Figure out why she wasn't brainwashed. Or maybe try to take her.
It's
So
witchcraft.
she keeps.
Then she's
It's,
about.
it's that thing.
That protection.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's the story.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
So
that's
one thing I like about this is like it has all the working elements, man. It has the surprise. So it's
Yo.
like it's a normal school in Harare.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
no, Panda, what is
What are you
No, I
laughing at
love
Harare?
that. Oh, this is the first thing that came to your mind is Harare. It's first school Harare. That's right. Yeah.
So it's surprising as well. So it's an unexpected place. So that's working. An alien lands, alien ship. That kind of the design can be surprising as well, but that's also surprising. And it's at the school, so kids are playing soccer and all of that. And the image of like kids playing whatever sports there is with the ship behind them as a backdrop, as a mwah.
I want to draw that.
All of
Yeah,
that is
because
great.
actually I was thinking about like how Panda would draw like aliens.
Yo.
Like I wonder what that looks like.
It's great.
Because it's
You
not
know-
a green man with big eyes.
Yes.
I'm thinking.
We're
I
not
don't know.
doing that. We that's over. That world is done.
No, that's what I'm saying. I want Panda's alien.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I'm not thinking about the aliens. I
Really?
wish I could do backgrounds because I'm really thinking about like the entire school. Maybe you view it from the classroom. One of the teachers are teaching, and then you can
I
see
see, I see, I
the
see.
field.
Storyboard artist.
And
as
then
well.
it's like there, like, but you encapsulate everything. Maybe it's from the angle of a kid who's like sleeping on the
Yeah.
desk, and then you encapsulate like it's a wide lens or something.
Beautiful.
and then you just see everything. The story is just like there.
It's right
in one
there.
Shot.
That would be amazing.
It's right there.
We should probably do something with this and then come back with the next episode and
Have
flesh it
something.
out.
Something.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the alien.
Because then
that'd
actually,
be sick.
this is also like I guess a good example, because people would be asking like, what do you guys actually do? Like we create shows.
That's it.
This is how a show happens. We come up with
Literally, you
ideas.
saw it, yeah.
We create the visuals for it, and then
Find a writer.
we find a writer to like flesh the thing out. We find a producer to sell the project or like find funding for it, and try and find.
Mind
the-
is racing already. I
Exactly
already have moments.
Yeah.
I have moments in this film where it's like she throughout the day she could kind of sense, maybe so
Yeah.
we have this one image where it's maybe the whole class is focused on the board, right? She's the only one looking that way. She's looking outside. So everybody's focused, but you can tell that she has an affinity to something. So she's the only one looking away
That's hard.
at the unseen, bro.
You know what else I thought about? It's after school. When the hallways are empty, the aliens are chasing her. So she's like leaving class or whatever, and then every time she looks back, she either sees like they're not literally chasing her, but everywhere she goes, they're like following her and like standing still and just staring.
You know what
And
I'm
there's
thinking
two
about?
of them.
You know that TikTok video of that big head just like following.
Those
As you were
videos,
saying.
bro. I couldn't play that game.
Scary.
That's the scariest game. Yeah, like that.
Yikes!
Like that.
That's great, man.
There it is.
Yeah.
What would we call it? Because you need to come up with a name.
No idea.
It has to be some sick name.
Bafigile.
Terrence is good with names.
I try, but I'm struggling right now.
What about Bafigile?
Buffy. Buffy.
What's the name of the show?
I don't know. We'll think of something. But the first thing that came to my mind is when Pao was like, this girl. So it's like the girl who cried wolf. But what is our perception
Yeah.
of that? What is our interpretation of that?
Inganekwane wele.
No, but I think it's important for us to be faithful to that place. If it's in Harare, then now we are explaining. I like this. It's now we're explaining how we even approach projects
man.
like this. So we gotta be faithful to like Zimbabwe, like Harare. Now we have to visit Harare, see, what would translate to Shona and how people speak and
What do the schools look like?
what the school looks like and what is like the interaction, what is how people move, the language,
Their belief system.
their belief system, all of that to down to the core, so we can be faithful to the place, and then the name will come. Like the name is the last thing.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
That's for sure.
Yes.
That would be great.
That's nice.
The default thing, I think, you can see it in a lot of our first things. We just took the name of our characters. And we're like, that's the name.
So lazy.
It's the name of our
And I'm seeing it in a lot of African shows. I'm seeing it. I'm just like, it's like a one title.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh.
I want to do an anime that, they have sentences, bro.
I think,
Bro,
I think
the
we should-
time I got reincarnated as a slime.
That's the name of the
That's a
thing.
name.
Whoa.
Bro, and there's more like that. And I'm like, man, we should do that. I guess there's reasons why, memorability. Like, you don't remember memorability. Like, you don't remember those names because they're long. But people, like, in the anime call it slime. But the fact that it has that long sentence,
That's true. Yeah.
it's like, I think it breaks the mold. And I think we should do it. I'd like to have, like, an entire
we have
sentence.
such a great opportunity to break the mold because it's like our content is fresh. It's fresh.
fresh.
It's fresh to the world. So it would be a disservice if we approached content in the same way the Western countries approach content. Instead of stories, we have an opportunity to now break everything and introduce them to something new, something unexpected. Even how we put angles, all those conventional stuff of like, rule of thirds, this and that. We can follow them and then study them deeply, and then break them. Because now we have the opportunity to present something new.
Exactly.
It's people are not presented with such opportunities in life like quite often. And now that there's a need for African content, it should feel like, this is fresh. We are introducing something fresh, and people can relate to it in a deep way. But it's new. It's challenging. But
Agreed.
it's a thing that I don't. You know what it is? Because we keep assuming that this thing comes naturally. No, man. It's like parts of it comes naturally because it's who you grew up. You grew up in the context of that. You grew up in the African context. But you gotta work for uniqueness.
Yeah.
Uniqueness, you gotta dig deep and actually try find something unique. And once it works, you're like, okay, I'm running with this. But it's not something that automatically happens. It's hard work being unique.
Yeah. A lot of my first ideas were just like things I would watch on TV. It took me, finding guys like you and like working with people like Isaac and Judd to really, cultivate my own style and how I think about creating anything basically, which is something that's really important, I think.
I agree.
So Disney laid off 7,000 employees and eyes 55, well, not 55, and 70. 5.5 billion.
Wait, what?
No. I was reading the numbers wrong. 5.5 billion in total cost. So that's the estimated cost that they are estimating to kind of regain from this reduction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm seeing
How
it
much? Say it again.
5.5 billion.
God
USD.
damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
Don't they already have like quite a bit?
No, but I think it speaks to like how volatile our industry is, but also like it's not easy running a studio, not even a small one. But I can imagine like running a big studio like Disney, and people, you keep putting them to work and giving them jobs, and that's a lot of money that you have to pay your employees, and if it's exacerbated to that point, it's like,
What would be crazy?
What?
Is if we found out that the laying off of all of these employees has to do with AI. So they don't need people anymore because now there's ChatGPT that can somehow... And so now, like, the whole visual element of AI, it's like, it's cutting down, bro. Like, you can save billions.
That's scary.
You can save
I never
billions
thought
now.
about that.
That'd be so scary.
What's happening.
That could be. I mean, like, think about it. Like, dude, if you have the right prompt, that thing gives you anything you want. ChatGPT gives you anything you want.
So
Even with storylines, like if you have...
I've seen that.
Dude, if we took this little alien story of ours, we put the right prompt in there, it's a beautiful story.
Yeah. I've actually done that. And it gives you the context from that country.
From that country, you don't have to go to the country. We don't have to go to Zimbabwe. I'm kidding, of course. Let's go to Zimbabwe. Yeah, sure.
No, for sure. But the fact that you already have a working base. But yeah, for sure. Like, it's like,
That's scary.
what if that's people already being replaced and we are seeing it firsthand?
Bro.
Because this started with Twitter.
This is convenient. This is too convenient.
And it started with Twitter, and Twitter is Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is OpenAI as well. And OpenAI is ChatGPT.
Bro.
And so the laying off of Twitter, maybe it's like, you know what? So much of the workforce can be replaced.
It can.
I wonder what excuse they're using, because if that's what allegedly yeah, allegedly,
Yo, shout out to Disney, man.
Shed lightly.
All love to Disney. But if that is what's happening, that would be like a really scary world, because it's happening quicker than anyway. I mean, AI is developing quicker.
Positive overall. I feel.
Wow.
I mean, not if you got
Explain
fired,
yourself.
but
Not if you're.
But Disney, it's positive. It's a net positive.
I was about to say, literally.
Net positive. I think there's like it's the world is becoming connected in a deeper way, where we're connected through the internet more than we have been before. So it's potentially a laying off of the in-house people, because they right now they're talking about the total head count of about 200,000 worldwide. So when they put it in that sense, I'm kind of thinking they're not counting me, because I'm not necessarily working for Disney. I'm like kind of freelancing, you know what I mean? Yeah. So they're kind of talking about the guys who are working. So
Full-time
they're almost
employment.
In-house in a sense. So I think now that the world is becoming a lot more connected remotely, they're finding value that there's no need necessarily to have permanent attachments to employees.
True.
Because now we are almost cyber immigrants. We can work from anywhere in the world. So they can hire from there, hire from there with like a revisited deal that is almost temporal. So maybe that's what it's talking about. It's more of like the redundant in-house stuff where some things were being repeated, some jobs were being repeated by one person or three people. So now we just have one for this guy, one for this department. And I'm also like assuming. But it's like a calculated assumption, I feel.
I like cyber immigrant.
Cyber immigrants,
Never heard of cyber immigrant.
I think I just made that up. No, but that's a real thing, no?
No. Well, I think it is a real thing.
Is that another show? Relax.
No, I think it is a real thing, but I did hear it from you first. Well, like the first time you said it, you said we were like digital immigrants, because a lot
changing,
a lot of our gigs are from overseas, and it's like it's really been working out because of the exchange rate, but also the fact that we get to work in different companies without being on site.
Yeah.
Which
Also,
is
Disney
really cool.
buys a lot of people out. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like when they bought, what studio did they buy out?
Warner. No. Fox. Where is Fox? No.
It's Fox. They bought Fox, I think.
Something. So,
Fox, yeah.
I mean, if you're buying Fox, you're not going to
Amongst
keep
other
everyone.
things.
You're not going to keep everyone in Fox, guys.
Exactly, because that's the overlapping thing.
Yeah, because
right?
we got guys already here who do what
do
you
that.
do.
Exactly.
We just
Yeah.
need what Fox does specifically, like the core of
We
Fox.
kind of just need the IP.
and then everyone else
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
basically it's like
Yeah.
we just need IP. Yeah,
So there's that exactly.
maybe there's a little bit of that. It's like
the redundancies, but the
Yeah.
Chat GPT chat.
That's
kinda,
Yeah.
But I also think
That's
that,
the real take, though. Yeah.
I also think that they are a really big company, man, and to manage all those funds is like, I think it's insane. Because even with us, just with when we were starting out with a small studio, I know, Isaac, there's a lot to consider, even with a small studio, in terms of people that you need to pay and how you need to keep this thing going. It's just a lot.
It's hard to think about all of that because it's almost like where then does the value lie? Because we've always wanted studios, but a studio is like now you're responsible for all of that. And if you're built like that, if you're built for somebody who can actually, be responsible for all of that and actually keep this thing going, then definitely go for it. But the alternative is you are almost outsourcing everything. So you're not necessarily there's definitely sacrifices, but you're not necessarily the most immediate guy who's in charge of that.
Yeah.
You're also, when you're outsourcing, certain people are appointed for that. If there's an animation department that is taking care of your animation in Japan, there's a guy appointed for that. You know what I mean? So many things are outsourced where you can just focus on either the creativity or the producing part of it, or just the main thing that you're focusing on, as opposed to stretching yourself into a whole
You delegate.
the needs of a studio.
You gotta
Sir.
delegate.
sir.
Yeah, I think it's one of the main reasons. Like, our experience is one of the main reasons we're hesitant to start a studio. And shout out to people like Lesego and Isaac who have like running studios, but we're like, there's still like there's a few things I feel like personally, I don't know about you guys, like I need to figure out
Shout
before.
out to Hidden Hand.
Shout out to Hidden Hand and Different Junior. Before, there's a few things I need to figure out before I'm like, okay guys, come through, let's build this thing. And I would probably not do it, but I'll build it with you guys. There's no way I'm like, I'm building a studio, guys. This is my thing. You guys can come through. There's no way. I'd be like, gents, let's do this thing where we try. Because from my experiences, like, working alone is fine, I guess. But, like, when you work with a team of trusted people, there's certain things that you don't know that they know, and you guys can feed off each other. And also, you can take the load off
really
each other's
great.
shoulders and, like,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the one reason. Would you guys start a studio? Do you think in the future?
Sure. I think with enough capital, I would do that, because it's almost like a responsibility. It's
right?
Like I see a lot of talent coming out, and it would be good to have a home for them where you feel like you are parting, you're giving some knowledge back, and because you know so much, you've kind of at that point you've learned so much about the industry. You've created a couple of shows. You know the ins and outs of the industry, and you know the ins and outs of show running. And having a studio is one of the best ways to kind of give back and share that knowledge. So I don't know. It's a good place.
Yeah, The Last of Us show is really cool, man. Shout out to Pedro Pascal. That's him, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right.
It is him. Yeah. I had a little bit of hesitancy. I think Malcolm felt the same way, maybe slightly stronger than I did. Like him being Joel, I was like, because he didn't look like it at first. Like I haven't seen
Ellie as well.
Yeah, Ellie as well. Like both of them. You're right. They didn't look, because I played the game and I was like, the casting.
Great game, man.
Why?
How you have to play the game.
Yeah, you got it though.
He's not much of a gamer, but
One of these days.
Yeah, no, that's one gamer. Like, no, even if you don't game,
forget about all the games we talked about.
that one. I don't even want to spoil
all
it
of
for
them.
you.
You guys do this every time.
Yeah.
No, but forget about all of the
forget.
games.
No.
we talked
But
about.
no, there was God of War. I
No,
had to
forget-
forget about all
No.
the other games before that.
Yeah, that's true.
Nah, it's
No,
always
but there
like
is
this.
a few games where it's like, nah, you need to play that before you die, type shit.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, but
For the
to
journey.
for Pedro, I was like, man, he's not Joel. But then his acting level, he almost like he morphs into that whatever character he needs to play, he morphs into that guy. And same for Ellie, like the people they portrayed, I was like, oh, that's them. And funny enough, the thing about them is, I think the producers, the directors told them, don't play the game. So it's wild that they just got that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's them.
Damn.
And it's like, it's almost one-to-one as the characters.
That's crazy.
So like script is really important, and the actors you choose, man, like they need to put it down.
So
they need
that's
to
the-
lay it all out there.
So that's the dad, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
no. I mean, the game literally has like a man and some little girl,
Yeah.
right? That's how I know
You
it.
can give us context.
It's a basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
No, I don't want to spoil it for you.
in the series for me, the guy has like an actual daughter.
Oh, wait, sorry. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, because I feel like we're about to talk about episode one,
I'll be
right?
fine. I only saw episode 1.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you haven't seen it, yeah.
So dude has a daughter. The aliens start a thing.
The what?
Not aliens, man. The zombies.
Okay.
There's a sickness
Yeah.
that ensues, and so people are sick, and people start biting each other's heads off,
Crazy.
and
sickness.
the daughter gets killed by some soldier who doesn't believe that she's actually just broken her ankle.
Yeah.
So he's ordered to just kill them. I guess he misses, and well, he doesn't miss because he shot the girl.
Yeah.
Girl dies. A few years later, he's in a camp, and anyone who comes in, they just kill him. There was this little kid who was limping, and he looked like he'd been going through a lot.
Yeah.
Gets there, then like, hey man, we're gonna get you your favorite meal and everything. And then they threw him in a dump. I was like, wow, what the fuck is that about?
No, the world is different at that point.
No, for sure,
that
yeah.
point-
You can't
point?
trust anyone.
Yo.
You can't trust
Point?
anyone. Yeah.
Especially if you guys have survived. I think it's 20 years later after a zombie apocalypse.
But I'm gonna check it out though. I'm
yeah.
gonna check it out. Like, imagine if COVID was that.
Yeah.
It's so
Yo.
interesting for
would
you
be
because
crazy.
you're gonna watch the movie first, and but I like that for
Which
you.
one
like
works?
that.
Which
No,
one works
no,
better?
go watch the movie first. Well,
Okay.
the series first.
Yeah.
Because I want to hear that perspective. You know, what I mean, it's a different perspective, and the fact that they weren't allowed to play the game is even more interesting for me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch that with like close eyes as well. But yeah, check out. I mean, this is not
What do you
sponsored.
think about it? You played the game like I did.
Yeah, but remember, I'm on episode 1.
Yeah.
Remember,
How
Oh man,
How'd you feel?
Oh, bro.
ding ding
It's so
ding,
faithful
ding,
to it, and
ding.
every time I hear those moments, it's just nostalgic, and I'm like the score, the pacing is nice. I'm immersed.
But it's interesting. So it's
Yeah.
working. Sorry,
Go for
it's working without the nostalgia, because he's saying you you're hooked, right?
Yeah, no, it's good.
So even without that's
It's working.
a
No,
sign of a good show.
I can believe that it works without. It doesn't. That show doesn't need the nostalgia. I can believe that it's a great story. Nonetheless, it's a great story.
Really great stuff.
I started watching because I saw a clip on Instagram or TikTok when
was it?
the very first scene where these guys, there's an interview about a certain virus.
Bro.
And I was like, oh, that's like well shot. I need to see where this comes from.
Fungus.
And then I was like, oh, look at that. Because I only realized it was Last of Us when I saw like zombies and these two characters. I was like, oh, look, these guys look familiar. Yeah, those sounds are creepy as hell.
Yo.
I hate those sounds.
Yo.
I don't like it. Yeah,
Crazy.
that's so
All
good.
right.
Yeah,
Nah, it's a good show. Check it out, guys.
I will say this though, like, in as much as I feel like out of the three of us, I'm always like the last one to do stuff.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, I'm always the last one. I'm the last of us. I am the last of us. I like I almost feel as if, but you know, there's a certain thing that I like about being the last one to do the thing because it's like, I don't know, man. Like, when I like something, I will do it over and over and over again until it annoys me. So I think that's why I'm always left behind. I always stick to one thing for a really long time. By the time I play
get
that
that.
game, it's gonna be years from now.
It's still
I'm
gonna
not
slap.
even lying to you guys. It's gonna be like 2-3 years from now. I'm gonna get to that game a long time from now.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
No,
like,
for sure.
I get to be like a newbie in something, and you guys are always like just jumping onto the next thing quickly, which is cool within itself. It's like you're always like trendy and onto the latest thing. But I kind of like just like enjoying the heck out of something until it annoys me, and then I'm on to like if I'm done with it,
You're
I'm
obsessive.
truly done with it.
You're
I'm-
obsessive. It's
yeah,
a good
yeah.
trait, I feel. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like, it's like-
obsessive until and to the point of annoyance. Like you guys know, I listen to one song the whole day. Like I pick a song in the morning.
That part.
In the morning, I pick a song for the
seen
day,
this.
and I go for it.
I've lived with this.
I go for it, and I'm like, oh, that's my song for the day.
I've
You
lived
know?
with this guy. Sometimes 2 days, but
Yeah, it goes on. It goes on.
Sometimes you-
But I like the thing is, there's a thing about rhythm that gets me in a certain mood or I don't know, like the tempo of some music gets me to a certain point where I don't know, like I want to be able to maintain that feeling for like
no, it's a
for
great,
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I lose that feeling, like there's been times when I couldn't work, and I was like, I need to find a song. I need to find a song because if I don't find a song, I'm not gonna work.
Yeah.
I feel
know?
that. No, I feel that. And it's also
That's
it's
interesting.
The good thing about it is that you get to experience something for the first time outside of the hype.
Yeah.
Because sometimes experiencing something within the hype
Yeah.
changes your experience of it. Like what happened with
This
Game
is gonna
of
be so
Thrones.
weird, but this is what I'm listening to now.
Yeah, copyright.
Yo, play it for 5 seconds. If that.
because it's probably gonna cut us or whatever.
Stop. That's it.
So that's
great.
the past 2 days. This has been me.
And that's a
crazy.
mix. It's a
also-
mix up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a.
Mashup?
I find that I also don't like the original song. I like it either sped up or slowed down.
Jesus, so specific.
So
I
specific.
think it's because
Everything it's gotta be tailored.
I know.
Even
Dude,
the porn.
can I tell you? Look,
When
look.
you watch the porn, it's gotta be tailored. No, she's gotta do this.
No, legit. Like sometimes I'll listen to a song, and because I only like one part of it, I will go out of my way to download that song, take it on Premiere, take that specific part.
I've seen this happen.
repeat it
I've seen
over
that happen.
repeat it over 3
Remember
minutes.
that
The meow song.
the meow song?
Yeah. I repeated that thing, so it can actually become a full length 3 to 4
Wow.
minute song. So I can actually repeat it for myself and play it.
I came
And
to
I
your
do that.
apartment this one time
Yeah.
and there was a song and I was like,
Oh, it kept. Oh yeah.
oh, this
yeah.
has been playing. And then I check. It's one of those YouTube videos where like the song is looped for like the next
It's
2
an hour.
hours.
Yeah, it's an
and I'm
hour,
like,
dude.
you don't listen to that for the whole 2 hours, do
I
you?
do.
He does it.
I do.
It's got ADHD.
Yo, that's impressive, bro. It's cool.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I'm uneducated about ADHD.
I wanted to talk about uncles actually.
Okay,
I-
we going?
I had
settle
a,
down. Let me settle down.
Jeez.
Man.
I thought that was
had a
it.
conversation with a friend. It was probably like last night or 2 days ago, but we're basically talking about. Oh yeah, so last week I fetched So my little sister and niece asked if they can come, like, be at my place for the weekend. And I was like,
Yeah.
my place is boring, guys, but I guess if you want to be there,
Yeah.
you know. So they came, but I fetched them from school, and I remember my niece said to one of her friends, "Oh, I'm gonna go to my uncle's place," and I heard her say this, and I was like, "Who's your uncle?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm the uncle."
Yeah.
We're there, bro.
Because they don't refer to me as uncle; they refer to me as Wuti Murao, which is like brother Murao.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound weird in Pedi,
Sure.
but it's
Yeah.
brother and then your name if you're older. Anyways, that's what they call me, and so I'm like, damn, I guess I'm an uncle now. But I've always associated uncles as like weird people. Because if I think about
Yeah.
like the first time I was introduced to like weird stuff, it's
Was your
uncles,
uncle?
bro.
What?
Uncles are like as soon as you become an uncle, you become a weird character.
Really?
No, I really do, because it's like I don't know. Like for instance, the first time I saw like any kind of pornographic thing was because I was on my uncle's phone.
Damn.
I saw some shit.
I got
I saw
exposed
some
by
stuff.
my brother, but I hear you.
Yeah, it's that older male thing. You become, your nonsense just gets. And I hope that, like, you know, no one is getting like any weird shit from my side. Like I'm not like.
Oh, we gotta be better.
No. We have to.
I wish to be a good uncle.
No.
That's
I
a
wish to
that's
be
a good thing to wish for, bro.
Yeah.
Because if you think about like basically any like child abuse story where people are molested and
It's
whatever,
always the uncle.
it's like people who are really close to the family. It's always the males,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Like when you become a lonely male, you become a dangerous little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
no,
become a
that's
it's
social
exactly
thing,
that.
bro.
And I think it's a dope conversation for that. Like, what happens once you kind of don't work towards something, or you become at the same
yeah,
time, well, your skills atrophy, or your motivation in life atrophy. It's that villain, that villain that comes out of that, because you can see that, you know, that's a good person, but it's like the situation has now kind of turned this person to a villain.
True.
And so it's like that's the importance of like work on yourself and building and trying your best to just not go in hell, because that's your mind going to hell at that point.
In fact, I've always thought about this. Like most guys who do like really messed up things is due to the fact that they're just not like preoccupied with something that's productive. So
No, I get that.
Like
I get that. Nah,
even
I
with
get
like
that.
even with like cheating, for instance, like no one who's busy out of there. Like if you're really really busy and you're like obsessed with something and you let's like, you know, I mean we you know, we put being obsessed on a pedestal, but it's like if you're really passionate about doing something and you're really in it,
Yeah.
you're not gonna find time for these things. I don't think you will. Like
No, I get
maybe,
that. No,
maybe
I
you
get
do,
that.
but
Like cheating it's a tough one, because it's almost like, how do you remedy? It's like
you're bored. That's why you do it. Like I mean, there's a certain
Yeah.
level of boredom. Like there's something wrong. Like there's something
for
wrong
sure.
that's just not making you happy. But it's and it, I don't even think it has something to do with like. It can't be just your partner. You can't just be them. It can't just be like, oh, I'm bored of this person. It's like also you're bored of yourself as well.
yes.
Because if you're bored of your partner, but you
it's
yourself
definitely
are
yourself.
happy and you're doing something that you really love, I don't think there's time for that. But if you're bored of like yourself and the person, it's like it's a combination that makes something.
Terrible.
Especially if
and
there's no communication.
being accountable and going like, every time I like a thought like that comes or swings by, you gotta be self-aware and have people to tell you that, nah, you are the problem here, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
work on that, because you are projecting all of that. You are saying, oh, your partner isn't this, your partner isn't that. I do
Yeah.
understand when, you know, things aren't working, but if you are a man who is somewhat has a better understanding of yourself, you have to now communicate that yo, I'm trying, and this thing isn't working. You know what I mean? And as opposed to just going like, being a child and, you know, kind of just doing things behind someone's back. And especially if you now have picked this person, you don't want to do that to yourself. Never mind that you are lying, but you don't want to lie to yourself at the core. Because the moment you go like, running around and you're doing things behind the person you've chosen behind her back, you are ruining yourself as well, because now that's the you're showing yourself a glimpse of the bad parts of you, and we are trying our best to control that. And when you're not confrontational about your mistakes or the things that you are about to do that are dark, then you are letting them conquer you. But now if you talk about it, then you go like, you know what, I don't think this is working. I want to fix this. Let's try fix this. Let's try something else.
Let's do something.
Bro, I'm craving this girl, man. I'm craving something else. But then you know that, like how I was saying, you might be bored, bro. You might be bored with yourself. Maybe it's really an internal thing. You are just struggling with something and you just want another outlet. It really takes confidence. You just bring it up and go like, you know, I'm struggling with this. Let's talk about it. And
you shouldn't easily fall into your desires.
That's what it is.
You should stand outside yourself and try as hard as you can to like, yo, where is this coming from? What can I do before I do anything else? You know,
and
it's
so
tough.
many temptations, bro.
It's too much.
What if nothing is working though?
What are you talking about, bro?
No, I hear what you're saying.
I mean, like
Everything you're trying.
like you're trying options, but nothing is working. I mean, that's still no excuse to do stupid things, make bad decisions, but it's like nothing. It's not easy to be responsible. Like it's easy to look back on something and you're like, oh, I should have done this and that. You're always wise. You're always a wiser person, you know, in retrospect. But in the moment, it's like a little bit.
Then you got to be honest, right? That was that a mistake from being immature, or was that a mistake from you falling short to your desires? You know what I mean? Because yes, youth does certain mistakes where, you know, sometimes you are drunk at a club and you're more drunk than you've ever been before, and all of a sudden you are having fun and you got pushed this way and way, and then something happens. But then maturity is knowing that, okay, cool. Okay, this time I'm not gonna drink 12 beers. I'm gonna drink 6, and then you know that, okay, this is my point of control, or I'm not gonna do this at all. You know what I mean? So there are some mistakes where they are granted,
Necessary.
in a sense.
I guess the whole reason I was talking about the uncle thing is like I was thinking about parts of myself that I know are dangerous, like they're not good for people around me.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you associate uncles with that. It's like, you know,
So
people who are a little bit unstable. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, some uncles are cool. There's definitely uncles that are cool.
Yeah, I didn't experience that with any uncle I've met. Like
Really?
they've always been, I'm Shana, you know, you're
But-
good, do your thing. They've never, so it's like, I think it's also, experience is important. Like
Yeah.
you've experienced them differently. I think you
No,
also experienced
I mean,
them differently.
I'm not gonna do like I definitely have good uncles. The heck, like
No, yes.
it's just like the young ones is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
us.
If
Just say us, basically. We're still growing, you know
You
what I
need to
mean?
be better uncles.
No, I'm just saying we are young and we are uncles.
no, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like there's like a lot of vigor, I guess, you know, and with that comes like, you know, a lot of action, whether it be good or bad.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
And
What parts of you are just like not good for people, bro? Or not even, I guess.
that's a good
I
question.
wanna-
It's almost like then you the problem is when you have those parts of you that are terrible, right? We all have the parts of us that are terrible, all our insecurities that if they had to take over, we'd be horrible people.
Yeah, for sure.
We'd
Yeah.
struggle just through society because we're letting those insecurities take over, right? But it's also, you need to recognize them. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
in my sense, it's like self-awareness is like being able to recognize them, and not just every time you keep disguising them, you keep making excuses for the insecurities. You kind of still portraying this big image. Like if you're falling apart in certain ways, at the very least, even if you can't do it with other people, when you are alone at night, chilling in your house, write those insecurities down so you see them, so you know they're real, so you know what you're facing. Because that's the thing you're facing. You're facing that guy.
Yeah.
That other guy, that is crazy in you. You're facing him. You are walking around with him every day. So write those things down, see them for what they are. Even the worst parts, even the potential worst parts. Like if you think you have done the most horrendous thing,
Slippery slopes.
the craziest thing, look at that thing
Analyze
and then
it.
face it, because that's the best way. Because now, and also, if you have the intentions of really growing and really being dedicated to growing, forgive yourself for that guy. That
Yeah.
guy is crazy. Forgive yourself and then now move forward.
Yeah, I do think it's a good, like, if you're already thinking about, oh, I don't want to be bad and do certain things, you're already in a good spot to move forward and not do those things because you're cognizant of what constitutes a bad uncle in your eyes. So you can move forward knowing that, okay, if I just stay away from these things and, just try to be a good person or a good uncle or whatever, I think you'll do good,
This is not advice on me. I'm just
Yeah,
Summit.
I know. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Just also pat yourself on the
All right.
back every once in a
All
while,
right.
Yeah, and also, not to stick on the negative side, it's like whenever you now do something good, recognize it. Recognize how you feel about it. And sometimes it can feel uncomfortable because it's new. You're used to just always being almost maybe not necessarily being bad, but inactive or passive. Yeah, passive about it. So when you now pay attention and you're seeing yourself do something good, recognize how you feel about it, pat yourself in the back, and do more of that. You're becoming better slowly as long as you're kind of doing it slowly.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to. Just a little thing I had
No, it's great.
from
It's
Zawika.
great, man.
Nice.
Yo, get yourself a podcast that can do both, eh?
Shout out. 100%.
All right.
Is that it?
From me.
Like.
Comment.
Subscribe.
Shout out. It's your boys.
We should be drawing. Yo, bro,
We should already be drawing.